Coming up on this episode of Don't Panic, we've got all kinds of technology news, starting with the Facebook F8 Developers Conference and all the things they announced there. From bots to drones and live videos to bookmarks, they have it all. We'll talk about it. We also have got big changes to your set-top boxes, Amazon now by the month, and Google adding podcasts to Google Play Music. Hint, we're there. It's going to be a packed episode of Don't Panic. Stick around because the tech news is coming up for you right now. This is Don't Panic, episode number 129, recorded April 18th, 2016, on streaming drones, Prime Monthly, and the bot invasion. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast that you can subscribe to by the month, or just subscribe at all. We'll take your cash, personal checks, credit cards, Applebee's gift certificates, you name
money
it.
Orders,
money orders. You can just throw pennies at us as you drive by in your car.
Yeah.
Whatever, we'll take it. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always by the creme brulee and bananas foster of technology. They're better when cooked over an open flame. It's Dan Miller and Colby Rabideau.
Hello. How's the weather? You got some 70-degree weather happening up in Massachusetts there?
It's delusional how beautiful it was all weekend and even into today.
I got a sunburn today.
It was irresponsible. I had to mow the lawn. I know you guys know a lot about this. Raking and leaf blowing and picking up sticks and weed and feed. You guys weed and feed?
I don't know what that is, man.
You don't weed and feed?
No.
But how do your lawns stay weed-free and well-fed?
There are no lawns in New York City.
Oh, that's right. You went this weekend, Dan, to the one big lawn they have in New York City.
Yeah. We all share that. Oh,
it's a communal lawn.
Yes, that is true than you would imagine. So I was in Central Park this weekend. I was sitting in Sheep's Meadow, which is like the big open area where you can get all the sun. And I was there for a little over an hour, and then I realized that not only do I sunburn really easily normally, but I haven't been in the sun for God knows how long. So I was already starting to get sunburned. So I packed up my stuff and I went to go. I was like, I'll just walk around beneath the trees and maybe I'll find some other place to sit and read in the shade. So I went to this playground that was under construction or renovation or something, and then in front of it they had these trussed vines. Like a fancy person's garden would have. And underneath that, a bunch of benches, all of which were empty. And it was sort of set back behind in between this building and this park, or the playground. So I sat down at the bench. I could hear a bunch of stuff off in the distance, but there was no one around me. It was very peaceful. And this guy walks up the stairs behind the building, looks around. I could tell he was looking around. He just kind of stopped at the top of the stairs, and then he dropped trow and just peed right up against the side of the building. He looked right at me. He knew I was there. But I guess that having only one person watch you pee in public is better than all the other alternatives he had. And it didn't look like a person who was drunk or had any sort of problems. He looked pretty normal.
He just didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was normal except for his lack of shame.
Yes. See, now as someone who knows little of New York City, that sounds like something that happens a lot in New York City. That doesn't seem fair, but I'm like, all right, I'm not surprised.
No one would have done that in Sheep's Meadow. I was surprised, frankly, 2 o'clock on a Sunday, that this would happen in Central Park, even when no one else was around. Because it's not like I was the only person there. People were passing by intermittently. Whatever. I have seen on multiple occasions, more times than I could count at this point, people peeing in the telephone booths.
They still have telephone booths.
You should just replace those with toilets. Why? It seems much more useful.
Good idea.
Yeah, so this happens all. It's not even. They don't even have any shame about it. It's an accepted thing. You just walk up into it, pull it down, pee up against the telephone booth. Never use any of these telephones, but they are replacing them with the Wi-Fi stations, which are not fully enclosed, so that.
But hopefully waterproof.
Yeah. They are outside. Did you know that they have these tablets installed on these? And they just have a web browser. You can just do whatever. You just walk up to one of these things.
You should see what the nastiest malware you can get on that thing is. Like ransomware or something.
Pretty sure it's Android, so you could probably do something.
You can install
Flappy
Flappy Bird, maybe? I don't know.
You can't install anything. The reason I know this is because someone posted a picture on Twitter of that they got Doom to run on the Wi-Fi kiosk in New York City, but just because Doom can run in JavaScript now, so they just went to the website.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was my New York weekend story. I watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which is going to be my pick, except I already picked it.
Oh, that's so good. That was going to be my pick.
Yeah, we already picked it, though.
I know. I was going to do that cheat thing. We've picked shows more than once because of different seasons.
Yeah.
There's precedent for this.
I haven't finished it. I'm only on episode 4.
Ooh, the second half of the season is even better than the first, so you are in for a treat.
I'm excited.
That show is so fantastic.
I finished it.
I marathoned right through it.
Nice.
It's easy when they're half an hour.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get through it quick.
And speaking of television, Game of Thrones is coming back this weekend. Yeah, two thumbs up.
Get psyched.
None of the audience can hear.
Hey, and if you're not a fan of Game of Thrones, get psyched because Silicon Valley is also coming back.
That's right.
So get psyched
This
about
weekend
that.
as well.
It's if not this weekend, the following. It's right around the same time.
Nice.
I think Veep is coming back as well. So things are happening on HBO. I gotta re-up my subscription.
Jurassic World is going to be available. This is according to the HBO Now email I just got, which is why I know all
Very
these
convenient.
things. Yeah, marketing, it works.
Oh,
Here's another random thought to start the show off with, since this is sort of in our milieu.
This is what we do.
How much money would you think it costs to get an organ, like an honest to God, no pun intended, church organ?
Oh my God! I thought you meant a human organ.
God. So did I.
I'm like, there's like a black market kidney running these days. Like, I need one bad, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not
after this weekend, I had to get one, so I can tell you. No.
just dropping that casually. Just wondering. You guys know any guy? You know a guy?
Yeah, a church organ.
Oh, how much is a church organ?
Like
an
those are
old
like
one
the
or like a
size
new
of a
one?
building. I mean, they're huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I bet a really old, like, super authentic one, if you wanted to move it out of one building and put it in another or something like that, I would bet you could spend upwards of $1 million doing that.
Yeah,
Because not only do you have to move it, you have to tune it. And you've got to make sure when you're moving those pipes, they all sound exactly the same in the new
moving a
place.
building.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. It's $250,000 to $800,000.
That sounds about right.
I think that's the most expensive instrument. Like, just off the shelf. You go to buy instruments. That is the most expensive, average instrument sale cost. You can get those violins that are like $1 bajillion, but there's only 10 of them.
Does that include installation? I feel like it would, right?
You better.
I don't know. I just Googled it. How much does a church organ cost?
Are you in the market for one?
It just says the range of cost for a pipe organ for a small to medium-sized church, $200,000 to $850,000. From the Associated Pipe Organ Builders of America.
Wow, they must be really busy these days.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it can be as low as $30,000 if you want to just relocate a used instrument to a new home. I like how they say here, a new home. This is another question I'll have answered. Who has a pipe organ in their home? Let me Google it. Who has a pipe organ in their home? Does Bill Gates have a pipe organ in his home?
he could.
He could.
I don't know why
it's
he
a
would.
trampoline.
Dan, just get like a Casio keyboard or something. It's the same thing. And and you can make it sound like all kinds of things, not just an organ.
Can you get like a small pipe organ?
Like a portable
mini?
pipe organ? For on the go.
Pipe organ. Here we go.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely you can. Check that out.
Oh, this is great.
Ah, that's so cool. It looks exactly like what you would expect. Here, I'll put it in the Slack.
It's like a day.
Open up the Slack. Put it in. But with like a comically small keyboard for like the overall size of the thing. There
Oh,
you
that's
go.
so cool. See, this is I would put that in my home.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never play it because I don't know how, but that's just a cool thing to look at.
I
It's neat.
also found a news story where someone bought a 2,300 pipe organ, and then rather than have it moved, he just moved into the house that it was where it was in Seattle.
Well, that's cost effective.
A retired bus driver. Yep, purchased by a retired bus driver. I have to imagine that if you actually had a house with a 2,300 pipe organ, that not many people actually want a house that has that and wouldn't want to get rid of it.
It doesn't add value to the home.
No, unless you want a pipe organ. Oh my gosh, and he has the keyboard in like the living room. So you can just play it like in the living room. It looks like a normal house, but then like there's a whole separate room for the pipe organ. That's insane.
I always wanted my secret, like, Sean wins the lottery fantasy. I've always wanted a player piano.
Yeah,
That does like that is like spooky and plays ragtime tunes, but nobody touches it, and the keys just start moving when people walk by. I always think that's so neat. But I guess
cool.
those are hard to come by.
I would love to have a secret room that is opened by like playing a certain combo on
So
the
you gotta
piano.
play like the same 3 keys, and then it spins around.
Yep.
Man, I want to meet billionaire Colby. I feel like it would be extremely eccentric.
the shit out of his house then.
And like everyone's just falling through trapdoors, and bookcases are opening up, and
Oh yeah.
He's got the refrigerator that tells him when he's out of milk.
yeah. I mean, come on, that's the best Airbnb ever.
Yeah. What would your if it recipe be for a refrigerator that could tell you when you're out of milk? Like, what would you most want to have happen after that situation, that scenario is true?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe
I want a drone to pick it up and drop it on my jerk neighbor.
I guess you could like Instacart for it. I would love to have. I mean, it would be nice if it did other things than just milk, right?
Right.
Milk is not the only staple.
Right. What are the staples of Colby?
Eggs.
Right.
I like eggs and butter to cook the eggs in.
Sure.
I mean, I just like having like bread and sandwich stuff. That's always nice. It's always a shame when you don't have that stuff.
Yes.
Bananas. I'm fond of bananas. That
Dan,
should be my pick.
What's
bananas.
your Dan? What's always in the Dan Miller household? What is the one item that you always have in stock?
Bourbon.
Oh.
might have a-
I thought we were just talking about food. Alcohol's
But
a different.
sarcastically, there are no staples of my refrigerator
A lot of
because I'm
variety.
not home that often too. No, because there's very little in my refrigerator. I eat at home like 3 days out of the week, and this is one of them.
Again, a New Yorker stereotype that I subscribe to.
Yeah, you subscribe to you hold this.
The stereotype I do.
lifestyle? Oh, stereotype. Okay.
Yes, I subscribe to the stereotype. No, although I don't really cook at home either, I guess.
How much does that one cost a month, Sean?
How much is what cost per month?
That was a bad joke because you subscribe to this stereotype.
But New York is one of the best places. Okay, New York is one of the best places to get ingredients for things because there's a wide variety, and you can get things pretty fresh because people are crazy about farm to table. The only downside is you won't have any place to cook it.
Detail.
That's what I always
Unless you're
liked.
incredibly wealthy.
That's what I always liked about the HelloFresh guys is that they ship all their stuff up from New York City, and the cuts of meat they get are insane. They're really good cuts of meat, and they're all from New York City, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, we got. They don't call it the meatpacking district here for nothing.
No, it's where they pack the meat.
Where they pack the meat. That's
They pack
right.
the meat.
Did you guys just hear Siri turn on and like try and answer my question that I didn't ask?
Well,
She's
what
always
did it
listening,
record you
Colby.
as having said?
Something about I unfortunately I closed it before it came on. But it was something about being incredibly wealthy. I'm turning off the always on listening right now.
You know, Colby, you just got me thinking, and I don't want to keep going off on tangents, although I guess we're having fun. There's not a lot of news this week, really. But, I was thinking about this before the show, that I don't download apps ever anymore. Like, I almost never, and I'm not sure if it's because all the good apps have already been invented, or that I just don't need new things, or I'm just not paying as close of attention as I used to. I don't know what I went to download a new app today, and I realized it was like the first time I've looked for something in the App Store in a really long time. Am I crazy? Is that just me?
No, yeah.
I don't really anymore either. I'll go on the App Store once a week and like download or see if I'm interested in the free game. But that's pretty much it.
I didn't even know they had a free game. Yeah.
I was just wondering.
I would be interested in like seeing the apps I've downloaded over time and how often I use them, because the most recent new app I've downloaded that I use with any regularity must be Hearthstone. And that was months and months ago.
Yeah. Oh, I started playing Hearthstone again.
Nice.
Last week, yeah.
Amazing. New expansions coming out.
I know. That's exciting. Could be exciting. I don't know.
Could be exciting. Yeah.
I don't know
Wow.
if it'll affect my life. I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Oh, I
Something about
downloaded a
app
bunch
stores?
of apps when I got the iPad.
Right.
But mostly it was apps, like the vast majority of them are things I already use.
Well, and that's what I find is that whenever I read about a new app, it's always, it's a new calendar app. And it's like, well, I'm pretty, even if it's marginally better, I'm pretty content. Like, there are no, like, new, maybe it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like there are any new ideas for apps. Like, no one's ever done that before. No, you've just done a better version of something I already have, and I don't really even need a better version. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Very odd.
And it's always hard, like, I feel like I have, especially with like product, like non-game apps, like I have like specific needs where I have like a bunch of computers, and like if it doesn't have a website, I'm probably not interested in it. And if it doesn't have a Mac version, I'm probably not interested in it.
A Mac version? Is that what you said?
That's not true. I mean, a website or a Mac version, I guess,
Oh, okay.
but like I guess they're not both required.
Right.
Some way to access it on the desktop. I don't. Maybe we're just old.
Well, you heard it here first. Apps are dead.
No, I think that we spend most of our time at computers that we control. I bet that most adults, most people over the age of 21 do not spend their time at computers that they can install things on or go to any website they want on. So like having a Spotify Mac app or a web app is less important for them because who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder what percentage of computer users spend most of their time at a computer that they have administrative access to.
That's a really interesting question.
Sad reality, yeah.
I spend more time on my work computer than any other device. Period.
Right.
I never thought about that. That's
enterprise software, man.
Slack is worth $1 zillion. Go figure.
Right. Because
Turns
of
out.
this. Right.
It's where Microsoft's making all their money, man. We should have gone into the enterprise.
What would our enterprise
not the
have?
ship, but the software. And on that lane,
Going on the Star Trek Enterprise would be pretty cool too. I'm just saying,
I
if
agree.
there's anyone out there working on the new Star Trek movie and they want to invite us onto the set, we're not saying no.
No.
Yes.
Well, I might say no. I've never seen Star Trek, so I couldn't.
What?
Well, I saw
You
the
never
movie. I saw the
watched-
second movie, so
Why did you
I
see the
basically
second?
understand all
What
of
about the
it.
first one?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the other ones? Like,
No.
have you watched the show?
No, I've literally only seen
you
the
have the
second
show?
J.J. Abrams movie.
Oh,
But you remember when we were at your house and we watched Star Trek Enterprise and it was the worst thing ever? Speaking of the Enterprise,
at my house.
in that very location that you are standing in right now.
I don't remember that.
Good. It was not memorable. That was a terrible TV show. Scott Bakula and like some weird like acoustic guitar intro song. It's like it's Star
Which one
Trek.
was it?
Star
was
Trek
that-
Enterprise.
That was it.
And it's like set before. It's a prequel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember that.
That was pretty
I
shitty.
don't think I watched any more episodes of that after
No.
the one.
No, yeah. Once was enough for sure.
In
Okay,
our defense, I think we were drunk.
Yes.
Very true. Drinking and Scott Bakula, always a winning combination. When are we going to get smashed and watch Quantum Leap? No, we're not going to do that, but we are going to talk about tech news because that is why we are here, and we've already blown a third of this episode on just random nonsense.
Nonsense.
And we've got to get to the news, gentlemen. What's in? There's not a heck of a lot of news this week.
I think the F8 stuff is exciting.
Okay,
Or
well then,
at least like we've all these things we've talked about before, but it's interesting to see Facebook do them.
well, exactly, Dan. Let's spin the wheel of buzzwords. All right, we've got VR, 360-degree video, live stream, chat bots. You name it, they've got it. Where would you like to start?
I should maybe just get chatbots out of the way.
Chatbots out of the way.
Yeah, I think that's the most controversial one at this
Number
point.
one. Number one. By the way, I watched before we came on the air. I watched Mark Zuckerberg at F8, like the video. That man is still to this day an uncomfortable speaker.
I have not watched
I
this
don't
video.
like to make fun of the guy because he's very smart and he's good at what he does, but like he must have by this point had so much media coaching, and he is just. Oh, I feel like it's like cringeworthy. I feel so bad because I want him to be better, and I'm like, dude, you're just so uncomfortable.
Man, it can't ever be as bad as that one time he got severely made fun of. I forget what
Yeah.
this was for. This
And
was
and
many
he
years
is better. He is better than he used to be. But it's still the problem isn't when he's explaining the products. It's just that he's A, really scripted, and B, has like jokes he has to give as part of it. Like you know how Apple does it where, they show you the calendar and there's a little joke in the calendar about, oh, looks like, so and so just got back from their vacation, and and they joke about the employees at the company. He was doing that and it was just really uncomfortable. And I'm like, just let him talk about the product, guys. Jeez. But what he was talking about was the bot platform. So inside of Facebook Messenger, Facebook announced that tools for developers to build bots inside of messengers. It includes an API that allows them to build chatbots and chat widgets for the web. They showed some demonstrations, including 1-800-Flowers, ordering flowers, but they also showed not just buying things, which is what most kind of bot demonstrations are, but they also talked about CNN giving you news stories, and CNN would send you the top stories of the day, and you could chat back and say, summarize this story, or give me the top stories, or, what's the number one story out of Ukraine today, or, you'll be able to chat with it and kind of have an interaction with it about the news. That's really most of it. The same with the 1-800-Flowers, where there's a list of flowers, and you can say, buy this, and they say, what's the name of the person you're sending it to, and you type that in, and they say, well, you want the message to say, and you type that in, and, it's a whole thing.
So, now that both Microsoft and Facebook have announced platforms for doing this, how do we feel? Because I don't remember talking too in-depth when Microsoft announced it about the concept.
No.
But how do we feel about this? Do you want it? Would you ever use it?
I, no.
Yes. You want to go first, Colby, or you want me to go?
I mean, I don't know. The use case isn't clear to me yet. I guess I'll put it that way. I don't want to be like immediately negative, but I don't know. I don't. I mean, bots in Slack are kind of useful, like, or bots in IRC are great. Like, those have been great for years and years. But I don't know if I want bots in Messenger. Maybe I do, and I just don't know it yet.
I think for me, the bot vision of Facebook and Microsoft, I think, are actually very different. Because to me, Microsoft wants it to be, this is part of your personal life, right? You get the Cortana piece in there, and this is very much part of you. Whereas Facebook, to me, it's more of a communication platform, right? It's not about you. It's about who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important difference. And given the choice between the two, I see more future success in Facebook's vision. And the reason for that is because I think personal bots are very difficult, because it's very hard to be a person. But the thing is, on Facebook Messenger, no one's expecting 1-800-Flowers to chat with you like a real person would. It's just a faster, easier way of ordering something than having to download the 1-800-Flowers app and give them your credit card information. And to me, that's the use case, at least the immediate, like, in the short-term use case I see, is how do you take things I would already do and make them easier and faster on a platform like Messenger that I already use, right?
Yeah.
So the CNN example, I think, is really interesting because there is so much news out there, and if I can just type to CNN and say, what's the top technology story today? And they ping it back to me, and I can either click the link or I can say, give me this in 2 sentences. And they give it to me, or I say, what had the most tweets? Like, if you can just ask the questions and get the answers, to me, that's really useful.
Yeah. See, I think it would be. I'm trying to think of like situations that I think I don't think I would use that. Maybe that's just me being set in my ways or something. Like I usually read stuff on the internet. But I could imagine like customer service chat or something.
Yes.
Like I don't know, like something like that where you're like,
well, like flights,
talking
for example,
to a company.
Like, I'm worried about my flight being delayed tomorrow. So if I'm friends with American Airlines on Messenger, they can chat message me if my flight's delayed. I chat back, what are my alternate options? They text me back, well, there's a flight at 8 and a flight at 10, and we can get you on the 10. I say, great, book me on it. Like, I didn't have to place a phone call. I didn't how do you expedite what we already do?
What I'm excited for, it would be something like Siri and Google now have this personal assistant sort of features, like they know where your meetings are, what your calendar is, what emails you have, something. So I ask questions of my life all day long. And sometimes I ask Siri these, but usually not, because I'm usually at my desk in front of a computer. When is my next meeting? Where is my next meeting? What does my day look like next week? How many hours am I not scheduled for meetings next week? Like, simple questions like this that I ask myself all the time. Or, have I gotten any emails from so-and-so in the past week? When was the last, like, all these dumb questions. I've, like, open up Gmail, figure out, okay, what is, like, the specific Gmail search query I'm supposed to enter from, but what's their email address? Okay, gonna go do the date range, but how do I enter the dates? Like, all this stuff sucks. And I'm not comfortable sitting at my desk talking to Siri or Google Now, even though at least Google Now can do a lot of these things. But something like a chatbot, and I don't think this is Facebook chatbots anymore, because Facebook doesn't know enough about me for that. But maybe something like Microsoft chatbots, is it could have my Outlook emails or whatever, and it could answer these questions all day long. That would be great. I would be all about that. Book a room. Find like the best. I want to meet with these people. Find the best. Give me like the 5 best rooms and times to meet with them. Oh my god.
But that's what
Head
what
over
kills
heels.
me, is that these services don't know what best is. Because best is subjective. It's a per person requirement, right? You can ask
No.
cheapest, you can ask most centrally located, but what's the best? Well, I
think
might
best,
I
best-
might want a window view, and I might want. Well, I guess all hotel rooms have windows. I don't know what I meant by that, but I want
Yeah,
to.
hotels even stay
That's
in.
not true.
I
There
want a
are
room with
definitely
windows.
hotel rooms without windows.
Where are you staying?
I bet you can get a hotel room without a window.
A cruise ship, maybe.
A cruise ship for sure, but definitely hotels. There's definitely, I bet every hotel, maybe not every hotel, many hotels have at least one room without a window.
Ooh, I'm gonna Google that. That's it. That's
Yeah.
But no. But that's my question. Is like, that's where to me chatbots become super exciting. There are services now where I can pretty easily find a hotel room in 3 clicks, and sure, it's not as easy as just typing it in.
I'm not talking about hotel rooms. I'm talking about conference rooms.
Oh,
A much harder problem.
Yes.
And one that simply requires, like, it's not a solvable problem, but any computer program worth anything could, like, give you at least 5 options. And as long as they fit the people and it's in everyone's working hours and they're available, great. Like, that's almost always good enough. But the Facebook stuff, like, I do think that people like chatting, especially for customer support-ish type things, refunds and buying things, changing account information, packages, doing like package tracking or something like this would be great.
Yep.
But I think that the Microsoft approach is actually more interesting.
Oh, for sure.
I want a personal assistant of the Google Siri caliber that I can just type to all day long.
I see the differences as Facebook is very now and Microsoft is very future thinking. And I think that's a big distinction. And I'm not going to say one is right or one is wrong, because to be honest, if Facebook is making money now and Microsoft's never pans out, then we're going to say, Microsoft blew it. But either way, they are very, very different approaches.
Right.
So there you go,
All right.
guys, because you needed another way to interact with brands. Yes. You gonna get on Messenger and write to PepsiCo about how much you like Mountain Dew? Send
Did
him
we all
pictures
watch
about.
John Oliver tonight? Is that why?
No, why?
I
Oh, he
watched
made
that.
fun of Mountain Dew again.
Oh, did he? No, I think Mountain Dew makes fun of itself pretty well. I'll give credit to John Oliver, but then again, there are plenty of jokes to be made about Mountain Dew.
Not even try.
Unless they want to sponsor us, and in which case, we will always do the do. Else at F8. What?
What
You got question mark look on your face, Dan.
did you just say?
I said else at F. What else is from the F8 conference?
Oh,
Else at F8.
gotcha.
Just the kids, you got to shorten it. 140 characters or less.
Gotcha.
You gotta.
Your e-old virtual reality.
Yeah, we got a little VR stuff.
Although we talked about the live streaming thing already, right?
Well,
I guess it was only like available to certain people.
we
talked about.
breezed over it. The updated version of that is now that there's an API for live streaming, so any camera can live stream to Facebook Live, even a drone.
That's pretty cool.
That is exciting, and I think that's something where YouTube has really surprisingly enough for me fallen short. I'm surprised it's not easier in places to one-click stream to YouTube.
Yeah.
In kind of a Periscope kind of way. And that's where, it is interesting that Periscope isn't really, you can't really integrate too much with Periscope. It
Not
kind
that
of
I
just
know.
is what it is.
Yeah, you have to have a phone with the app.
Right.
And
Well,
start it.
GoPro is the only one I know of that integrates.
Oh, okay.
with Periscope. But outside of that, it's not like I don't believe they have a public API.
It yeah, I don't know.
The hard thing
Maybe
about,
it's just it's a pain in the ass to do it.
well, yeah. I mean, the hard thing about live streaming is the figuring out how to do it. I know. I believe me, it's a pain in the ass. It's not fun.
Right.
And anything you can do to reduce barriers to, click a button in your live is whoever does that the best. I think is going to pick up a lot of heat early. And if
Whoever
it's-
does that the best and like doesn't kick people off for not doing the things that they
right, and actually leaves it open.
right.
Yeah, I saw one of the coffee shops near me opened a new location, and this weekend they had like a live stream of the opening. That was, I didn't watch for hours. I watched for like 30 seconds. I was like, oh, cool. And I wouldn't have known that they opened a new location otherwise. It was pretty cool. I was impressed. It worked really well. It worked on all the apps, worked on the web, all exactly the same. It was great.
Nice. I will say I have noticed, I guess not necessarily live streaming, but just video in general. Like I've been seeing way more videos on Facebook.
They're all about those stupid recipe videos. Oh my god.
Oh, really? See, the recipe videos are my guilty pleasure. I love the recipe videos. I've been like unfollowing people and following more recipe video things. Honestly, the reason you're probably seeing recipe videos because I love the recipe videos so much.
Unfriend.
Oh, that's why my Facebook sucks, because I'm friends with
No,
Colby.
you just got to do the arrow and say I don't want to see this.
Yeah, you're right.
Tell
I'm
it
gonna
what
go
you
to my
want.
Facebook and do that right now.
Yeah,
I guarantee you there's some up here.
I love those videos. I would much rather see those than almost anything else that gets posted.
I wish I saw recipe videos. I mostly see the mom and aunt type of videos where it's like, 5 makeup tips you won't believe, and oh, look at these shelter dogs that got rescued kind of videos, and it's like,
Yeah. I don't know. In any case, I wanted to say, like, I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's something I've noticed. And I don't know if it's that it's more content has been posted with videos, or they're just getting like way higher rankings in the newsfeed algorithm or something. But
I bet that. I bet that
Yeah.
they
or maybe both.
perform well. Yeah.
Right. I feel like they certainly perform well with the. Also, I've realized the other day you can like click into a full screen video mode thing. It'll just keep playing videos forever.
Yes.
mhm.
That's like
Scary.
that's never what I want.
Sometimes it is what I want when I'm watching those food videos.
I guess I still don't think of Facebook as a place to go, as like a destination for video watching.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I do think of YouTube as that, and I guess sometimes I let it keep playing. That's true.
The problem is like I find with YouTube the videos that keep playing are never what I want to watch next. But with the Facebook ones, in the very limited times that I've used it, they have been interesting to me. So I don't know.
Algorithms, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Wacky. Let's see. We got a bunch of kind of what I would consider smaller stuff from Facebook. You guys use Facebook Save feature, where you can save stuff for later?
I have, but I don't really know how to get to it.
Well, Dan, that is
There
turns
it
out
is.
a common problem. Facebook
found it.
agrees that most people can't find it. So now that they've created a button for the web where publishers can add that button to article templates, and when users tap that button, it will save that article to their Facebook save queue. It's very similar to Instapaper, where on any website they can integrate it, one click, and save it to their Facebook list. We also have Facebook announced an open source 360-degree video camera. Weird. But of course, one of their big things is 360-degree video on Facebook. They call it the Facebook Surround 360, which sounds terrifying, and it uses a 17 camera array to capture images in 360 degrees, and I would assume post them to Facebook.
Cool.
Deal.
Now let's get to this VR stuff.
Let's get to Let's get to some of this VR stuff here. Facebook, as you know, owns the folks at Oculus, and Mark Zuckerberg said, "Well, let's see. Should I do the full quote here?"
Yes. Let's see what the Zuck's got to tell us.
Over the next 10 years, the form factor is just going to keep on getting smaller and smaller, and eventually we're going to have what looks like normal-looking glasses that can do both virtual and augmented reality. And augmented reality gives you the ability to see the world, but also to be able to overlay digital objects on top of that. So that means today, if I want to show my friends a photo, I pull out my phone and have a small version of that photo. In the future, you'll be able to snap your fingers and pull out a photo and make it as big as you want. And with your AR glasses, you'll be able to show it to people, and they'll be able to see it. As a matter of fact, when we get to this world, a lot of things that we think about as physical objects today, like a TV for displaying an image, will actually just be dollar apps in an AR app store, and Facebook gets a cut of that. And so it's going to take a long time to make this work, but this is the vision, and this is what we're trying to get to over the next 10 years.
So did they announce anything new with Oculus? No.
Nope.
I think that Facebook is extremely well positioned to build this these new developer tools in virtual reality, because they have a lot of experience building developer tools, and they have Oculus. Today I was thinking, what if as I'm like working on a web page, now you can open up the like Chrome developer tools, and you can like highlight different parts of the page and see how it's built.
Mm-hmm.
I could like explode it out and turn it on its side this way to like see what stupid layering thing is off. Like just take it, explode it, and move it over here and like peek behind. It would be so useful.
There's a thing like that in Firefox. Have you seen that?
No.
The Firefox devs tools have this like 3D hierarchy view thing.
What?
Yeah.
I have to see, but 3D is only ever so useful on a 2D monitor. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
I think we'll get stuff like this eventually. You heard it here first.
All I can imagine is Dan Miller with an Oculus on his headset and doing this. Guys, I'm programming in 3D. They're like, "Oh, Dan, you simple man."
Small, delicate flower.
No, but every time I hear about this VR set, whether it's to me, it's the chicken and the egg problem. What comes first, the hardware or the software? Because we don't have either right now. And
Something will come first.
But so the hardware is expensive and hard for the average person to use, and the software isn't being built, and what is being built is only for the expensive headsets that your average person isn't going to buy. I mean, at what point, I don't know, it just feels like such a back and forth where when are both going to hit at the right time, because you can't really have one without the other.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think the hardware might have to happen first, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
smartwatches are kind of like that. Well, actually, smartwatches haven't really caught on, so I guess that's not really a good example. But I think people will put up with mediocre software on really good hardware.
Right. But if you think about, I don't know if this is a good example or something, but like the first iPhone or the first iPad, I don't know if that's a good example either. But like those weren't the first of that kind of thing, but they did seem to, I don't know, like kick off those things actually happening, whereas
at the minimum, they got people to take a second look at smartphones. At the absolute bare minimum, people who saw smartphones as BlackBerry's business people used took a second look and said, "This is a product I actually want." And VR needs that moment where there is a product where HoloLens, I think, is getting there a little bit, where you're combining a good-looking device, a practical device, a device that you can kind of show the value it adds. And obviously, I think the cost is too high and the technology's not there yet. But whoever can build that one, like Zuckerberg's talking about with the AR glasses, Google Glass, that's actually good, that people want. It's got to come.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something like the glasses, the imaginary glasses Zuckerberg is talking about are that is kind of universally useful, whereas VR, what VR we have now is really only useful for VR. Like Oculus is useful for VR, and VR is useful for playing games right now. So it's inherently limited. It's not. It's like a specific platform. It's I don't know. So whereas something like these dreamy glasses, that's why I feel like the hardware has to be there first. And HoloLens is more closer to this idea, but it's still not something you would ever just wear around. That would be terrible. It'd be even more embarrassing than the Google Glass thing.
Yeah, it's shocking that never caught on.
I wonder if you had pulled us, because we were, I guess we were after Google Glass was announced, but I remember talking about it when this show first started. We weren't totally against it.
I mean, we thought the idea
bad.
was cool. Yeah, I would have taken one if someone sent one to me.
Listen, there is an effect, and this happens after every Apple event, where I have a no purchase policy for a good 2 weeks after these things are announced, because the announcement is half the excitement. And you get going, and it's my finger has been so close on the Apple Store to buy. Oh my God, look at that new MacBook! Holy crap, look at how thin that is. That's God, that looks great, man. Maybe I should buy one. It's Google Glass was the same way. After they did the demo where they had the guys skydiving and them doing the backflips on the bike, it's yeah, I want this. Are you kidding me? Take my money. But I think that was regrettable.
Fair enough.
Oh well. We're not getting AR or VR for the moment, but we are going to get some more news. Not too much else out of F8. You'll be able to do video profile pictures through apps like Vine, which someone wants, I guess. You'll be able to log in with just a phone number, a ripoff of Twitter's Digits platform. They call it Account Kit, making it easier for you to log into Facebook with just a phone number. That's mostly for outside the U.S., but we'll have the option to bring it here. But that's about it for Facebook.
That's not the worst company event that's ever been held.
No, well, it's a developer conference, right? So it's all APIs and toolkits and
right.
Stuff your average person isn't really going to see. So, that's, well, as we always say, it'll be interesting to see what happens. So,
indeed.
We will stick with that. You guys want to talk about anything else in this list? We can touch quickly on Google adding podcasts to Play Music. Available on the web and Android today, iOS coming soon. You will be happy to know that Game Nights and Up for Debate are both live on Podcast Now. And before I forget, Don't Panic may actually be live by the end of the show. The reason is Colby gets the verification email because our official RSS email is his.
Right.
So let me resend that verification.
I don't think I got it.
All right, I just
don't recall
sent it
getting it
to the I Don't account.
Okay.
And just ping me the verification code, and then it'll be live.
Here we go.
You'll be able to go and subscribe on Google Play Music. Like I said, web and Android today, iOS coming soon. It backfeeds all the episodes via RSS, so They'll all be there, and you can subscribe, and you get the updates when new episodes come available, and you can stream them and download them locally and do all the things you do on Google Play Music.
There you go, Sean. So this is cool. I like that. Like the iTunes store, you simply like register your podcast with their directory. I was like initially a little excited when Spotify added podcasts, and then immediately disappointed by the fact that it was like just whatever podcast they liked or something, or like chose to include. I was disappointed that the greater podcast ecosystem was not available, because the podcasts they had on there were not like, some of them I listened to, but it did not include all of the podcasts I wanted to listen to. So as a result, it's not even viable.
Womp womp.
And if they've lost you, Colby, the most podcastic guy I know,
Yeah, God.
you know, what hope do they have?
Right.
It's very little.
And it's like, that's, I don't know. It just seems like a pretty half-baked to me. Like, that's a solvable chicken and egg problem. Like, you need to have all of them first before you get anyone to listen on your service. And I think that's the fact. Or at least people who are already into it. I guess, like, maybe you could get converts to podcasts, but yeah.
So that's a thing. As if you need another place to get podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's one. Let's see. We can quickly touch on Amazon. We got a little time. Amazon launching monthly subscriptions for Prime and Prime Video. Previously, the only way to get those things was to A, together, and B, in a $99 yearly fee. But starting now, you will be able to get them separately and by the month. So, as I said, $99 a year for both Prime and Prime Video. Or you can do just Prime shipping at $10.99 a month. Just Prime Video at $8.99 a month. And for a little fun fact, Prime Video alone would cost $107.88 a year if you did it by the month. And the full Prime service would cost $131.88 if you did it for a full year per month.
Interesting.
And that $8.99 for Prime Video is cheaper than the current Netflix fee of $9.99. And more expensive than Hulu with ads, but cheaper than Hulu without ads.
That's...
So right in there.
Yeah.
Right in the mix. So, yes.
Why would you do this? Just if you don't want to pay yearly, if you don't want to front the money?
Or you don't want the shipping. No, but
Yeah.
even
Or if you
no,
just
it's
want to
still cheaper.
try it. Like,
Yeah.
I do feel like it's I don't know, committing to something for a year is like kind of a big decision. Like, if you wanted to get Prime Video for only one of their series is HBO style, like where some people will get HBO Now just for Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
I don't think this will change my relationship with Amazon Prime, but
No, I don't think there are any current subscribers who would change. Actually, I know they don't publish this, I would love to know what percentage of Prime subscribers re-up each year. I have a feeling it's a very low drop-off, but I'd be curious. No, the other thing, too, is, you can let people share your Prime account with you.
yeah.
If you're on the old version of Prime, it's up to 4 people. The new version of Prime, it's one other person. But what I do for people is I often have people who tell me, like, Sean, I'm renovating my house, or I'm going on a trip. I want to order a bunch of stuff. I know.
How often do people tell you this?
You'd be surprised, because they know I have Prime. And so they like come at me and they're like, Sean, I got to order a whole bunch of stuff for this specific purpose. Can I borrow your Prime and get free shipping on all of it? And they only need it for like a month. That's the only other use I could see for buying the shipping per month, where if you're buying a lot of things or things that are really expensive to ship, at $10.99 a month, if you're buying something that costs $20 to ship or it's free on Prime, then you pay the $10.99 in your savings. So that would be the only reason I could think you would do the shipping on a monthly basis.
I'm hooked into the ecosystem, so
I mean, at $99, I don't know how you can't get your money's worth out of that. To be honest, you got to try not to get your money's worth. Because even at $5 a package for shipping alone, not even counting the video, you only have to buy 20 items.
right.
I feel like the $99 is still what they want. Like, if you like thinking about it, I mean, I'm sure it definitely depends on like what your budget is, what your financial situation is. But like, if you commit to something for a year and use it for a year, you're way more likely to like see value in the thing over the course of the year and until the next time you get that notification that you're going to be charged for it, as opposed to something that's every single month. Like Hulu, for example, I've kind of fallen into like a Hulu rut now where I'm not watching anything on Hulu. And so it's like, well, should I be, every time it comes through on or the last time it came through on my bank statement, I was like, oh, that like doesn't feel worth it. Right. It's like, and it's a constant reminder that I pay for it. Whereas this is like better. I mean, I don't think I would have this problem with Amazon Prime because I use Amazon like a lot, frequently. But yeah, like just from a business perspective, I feel like like they're trying to get people into it, but they definitely don't want people to switch from the yearly. I would be shocked if that was the goal, to like get rid of the yearly, because that's way better for them.
But again, that's the interesting statistic I would love to know is then how many of those month-to-month subscribers switch to the yearly? Because you're right, it's an entry drug.
Right.
It's a trial. It's when you see Transparent wins a bunch of Golden Globes and Emmys. Well, I don't want to spend $99, but I'll put down $9 to check it out. And then, oh shit, they got all this other great video content. No, I can buy stuff there. It's your entry into their system, and then they become those regular every year auto subscribe $99 customers.
Right.
That's a good model for them. It'll be interesting to see how that works.
I have a quick question before we move into picks.
Sure, Dan.
Colby, have you found a place in your life for your iPad? Have you welcomed the iPad into your home?
I think so, yeah. So I mentioned, I forget if that was in our pre-news banter or before the show actually started, but I started playing Hearthstone again. I've been playing Hearthstone on my iPad.
Nice.
I like it for, I don't know, like all the stuff you say you use it for, like reading things and just general internet browsing. I find it pretty nice for.
Have you taken notes with the Apple Pencil yet? Have you tried this?
I really haven't. There aren't too many situations in which I take notes. I have done some like brainstorming sort of with it, and I think that's sort of cool, but not seriously. I was sort of doing it to do it. So I'll report back on that.
All right. I was trying because I wanted to take notes as I was reading this thing in the park on Sunday, and I had my iPad, but typing it out is just such a bummer.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I could see it being totally useful. It's just not something I do a lot.
Right.
So I have been considering like whether or not it's something I can work into my, I don't know, like workflow of things.
Yeah.
Of a life.
Yeah. But in so far, yes, it has found a place in my life.
Excellent.
Yeah. That could, I mean, we're definitely within the like honeymoon device period. I just got it, so it's still cool and fun to play with for its own sake. But we'll see. I'll let you know if that, or maybe we can talk about this again in like 2 or 3 weeks and see what's happened.
Stay tuned for continuing developments, as they say. Neat. Well, we're gonna jump into some picks here. I'm going to go first, I guess, because I see my name here first. And we haven't picked it on the show before. I don't know if you guys, have you tried Sling TV yet?
Nope.
I tried their free trial when it first started
Yes.
and realized I didn't care.
No. And at first I didn't either, but very short story. It's tough times in this economy, guys. I don't know if you know this. And my household is going through that. We sadly had to downgrade satellite packages. I know.
Oh no!
Tough problem. We all got to
That's a
make
disaster.
sacrifices. And one
Yeah.
of the things we lost was the networks of ESPN. Now, I'm not a huge sports guy, but I love me some football. Basketball playoffs are happening, which I actually do really enjoy. A little bit of baseball here and there. I really like ESPN. And I saw Sling TV was offering their free trial. That's where they get you. And I decided to give it a shot, especially because basketball playoffs are on right now, and they have both ESPN and TNT, which play all the basketball games for the playoffs. So I've been trying out Sling TV, and I've actually really enjoyed it. And of course, as many people know, I'm moving, and it's an option I'm considering. Not doing cable and trying something like this. So I picked it up, tried it out, Sling TV. We've talked about on the show, over 20 channels, $20 a month. They stream them to every device you can imagine. Works great on Roku. I was actually watching basketball on my computer before you guys called in, and it's worked really well for me. And really, all I want it for is the sports and the news. They have CNN, which I do watch it for special occasions or the election stuff or things like that. So far, I've been pretty satisfied. The service has been great. Sling.com. Give it a trial. I would consider, depending on the price of what cable would cost when I move. To me, it's a legitimate option because it's worked relatively well. It's just
Cool.
there are a lot of channels I don't really care about, but as long as it's got the sports and the news, because those are the live things I actually watch that I
Right.
will miss not having.
Fair enough.
So you can check that out, sling.com. Colby, you've got something written in the sheet. What are you picking this week?
Yep. My pick's the Boston Marathon. That was today.
Boston, the
I
Boston
don't know.
Marathon.
It's just kind of cool. It's like a weird whole city thing. It's a little inconvenient because you can't cross over the street or it's very challenging to cross over the street that it goes down, and it does take all day. But I didn't realize somehow I got to the Wikipedia page for it before the show, and it was started in 1897. I thought that was
Wow.
crazy. So they've been doing it for a long time. It was just kind of fun if you live around here. I don't think I would ever come to Boston just for the Boston Marathon, but if you wanted to visit Boston and it happened to be on marathon weekend, it would be a pretty good weekend to come. So that's my pick.
Now, have you seen any of the technology around the Boston Marathon?
No.
It's pretty amazing. I would love to know how someone's got to do a behind the scenes, because on their website, not only do they live stream a lot of it, but you can actually track the athletes
So
as
I
they
didn't.
go through.
I didn't know that. So some of the people I was with today had friends who are running, and they could sign up for text message updates on their friends' progress. So when they were getting to, I mean, the marathon's 26 miles or something, so it's pretty far. And we were it starts out way outside of Boston. So we were in Boston, so it was much farther along. So it's pretty hard to judge, judge how if someone started 26 miles away, how long will it take for them to run to you? I don't know. So there were checkpoints where you'd get a text message every time someone hit the 30-kilometer mark.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was cool.
Neat. You gonna run in it next year? I'll take that as a yes.
Ah,
I don't think so.
No, that's okay.
Anything could happen, I guess.
What you need to do is establish the first annual Boston sit on the couch and watch Netflix.
Mm.
And I
You
would
could watch
participate.
it on TV, so you could sit on the couch and watch the marathon.
You can. It's just like being there. Dan, I see an empty box next to your name.
yeah.
The international symbol of no pick.
I got nothing, man.
You got nothing. Come on. I don't think we've ever not had a pick.
Oh, we must have had
No,
not.
because
Had,
well, we've had it when people.
We've not had a pick before. As a person who's not
No.
come up with a pick.
Okay. No
like
pressure.
I could pick the weather. I could pick Central Park. Uh,
You could pick phone booths.
I could pick phone goods. I had a really good beer from Allagash Brewing Company. A
Oh,
nice.
Allagash is great. Which one did you have?
I could go check. It was aged in a bourbon barrel. It was like juice. It was so smooth, and it was like 12%. Amazing, so good.
Nice.
I wish I had something more.
All right. Well, how about this? We'll
I just give you a
compromise.
smorgasbord. Okay, but yes. What's your idea?
My idea is, because we're live now, but this is generally.
Oh! Wait, I do. Last week we talked about the Dan Miller like movie list. If someone were to like pop out from the 1800s, or like an alien was to crash onto Earth, and I was tasked
Mhm.
introducing them to movies, which movies would I introduce them to? So we've already covered Mad Max, and as soon as we got off, I thought of two more, and I don't think I mentioned any others at the time, did I?
I don't think so.
So the first one that came up, and I'm thinking, we talked about Blade Runner, I think, because you hadn't seen Blade Runner
Yes.
either.
Yes,
That
we
was
did.
the first thing I thought of. The other one, and I think what I'm going to try to do here is movies that aren't necessarily movies you've heard of. Like, I'm not going to do like the Titanic or Dark Knight or like,
Right.
these big things. But the Brothers Bloom, if you haven't seen this movie, amazing, so much fun, just like a great story. It's about these two con artist brothers who get together for one last con. It's sort of like Wes Anderson-esque in its styling, and they try to con this newly minted billionaire woman who inherited her family's fortune. But she's a little bit of an interesting character.
Wow, with the tag team of Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, it's like they do really well together. I like that.
I think I watched that movie on Dan's recommendation and enjoyed it.
And you enjoyed it?
Can second that.
It's got the Colby stamp of approval.
Oh, thanks for filling that in, Sean.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to forget.
Fill in the show notes for me.
No, I'm gonna look and see though if it's streaming anywhere.
Oh yeah, what's that? I saw another website just today for.
Oh, there's so many.
What do we use? Can I stream it? What's the one you recommend?
Well, honestly, now I'm using the Yahoo one.
Oh, Yahoo. What is it called?
Yahoo Video Guide, but I just saw another one yesterday.
Watch it.
No. Scott Johnson just tweeted about one today.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, see.
Go look now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, according to at least the Yahoo one, it's available to rent on Amazon and iTunes
Yeah.
as well. Oh, there you go. JustWatch.com. The streaming search engine. Let's see if they disagree.
Yeah, I'm interested.
The Brothers Bloom. There you go. You can also watch The Blues Brothers, which is also a great movie.
That's true.
They do have more services. So you can rent on the PlayStation movie service. You can also rent on Vudu and Google Play.
They don't have iTunes, which is weird.
Oh, I like how they have all the prices. Very cool.
Yeah, that site's actually pretty nice. I may have to. No, this should have been the pick. I'm gonna download their app. This is good. JustWatch.com.
It's only
There's your
got a
bonus pick.
66% Rotten Tomatoes. That is
Ooh.
shocking.
What percentage is the Dan Miller-o-meter?
Well, this is up there in terms of like movies that I think about all the time and had like a lasting impression on me. Story-wise, kind of, but just artistically, this one really got to me.
Got a pretty dope
So
style.
far we have Mad Max, which Sean already doesn't like.
Right.
Blade Runner and The Brothers Bloom.
Okay.
Nice.
I will do my best to watch that. That's about as much commitment as you will get out of me. Very cool. Well, that's it. We're done. Kaput. That's it. Finished. Done for the week.
Your
Done for tonight.
your Bernie Sanders impression. Kaput.
Kaput. We're done. This is it. No more. Go home. But if you want more, you're not getting any of this episode, but you can listen to all our other episodes on our website, don'tpanic.io. Go there, audio, video, links to all our picks as well. If you don't remember what we said or the links are specific, you can go to the website as well. They'll be there. And, of course, you can subscribe now on Google Play Music. You can subscribe there for this show. And, of course, also iTunes, Stitcher Radio, RSS, most major podcast apps, YouTube for the video version, which is a lot of fun as well. You get to watch us drink beer and not look at the camera while we're doing things. And, of course, we do the show live Monday nights, roughly 10 p.m. Eastern, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Don'tPanicShow. Go there and subscribe, or on Twitter @Don'tPanicShow. Either way, we let you know when we're live, because we don't always start exactly at 10, but definitely Monday nights. We will be back next week with episode 130, talking more tech news from this upcoming week. I don't think there are any necessarily big events scheduled, but you never know with technology. Something could come up, or we'll just banter more about, nonsense like we normally do. Gentlemen, anything else for this evening?
No, I'm all set.
No? Well, I got a plane to go catch, so I think we're going to have to wrap this up.
Nice.
On behalf of Colby and Dan, this is Sean, thanking all of you for joining us, and hoping we'll see you next time for a brand new episode of Don't Panic.